Blessings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. This is our free practice for December. Here comes Fritz and Sam. They all want to come and say hello to you guys. So we are going to start on our mats in a comfortable cross-legged seat. I'm going to make my way over there if I don't get just knocked over between now and then. If you would like to use some props that if you have them around, they might be useful to you. If not, no worries. But yoga blocks, a blanket, or two, a bolster. Hey, no, no, sir. Go on. Get out if you're going to do that. Go on. No, this is not that type of class. Go on. Out. Out. No, go. Goodbye. Sorry about that. It was about to get real inappropriate in here, so we're not having any of that. All right, but you can come to a comfortable seat on your mat. If you do have a blanket or a bolster, you can certainly sit on that. I would recommend that if you have cranky knees at all, that is a good tool to use to help alleviate some of that. So let's go ahead and just drop our pin here. We're just going to get our practice started. So you might have been running around crazy, getting last minute Christmas things or just shopping entirely. I need to do that, so don't worry about needing to do other things right now. Take this time to really focus on yourself and to give yourself some self-care. So we're just going to drop our pin here. You can close your eyes if it feels safe to you, and then your hands can be just comfortably resting on your thighs. They can be up or down. In my case, mine are pushing away some dogs that are not listening. So maybe you have to do that too. Or if you have kids running around. But we're going to take a moment here just to breathe. So just nice big inhales through the nose, and then exhale either through the nose or mouth. This is a good time to set an intention if you would like to. Or you don't have to, completely up to you. Let's take one more big inhale together. Exhale, let it all go. Maybe sigh it out. If your eyes are closed, you can open them back up to the world around you. See what's going on. I am jobless at the moment. And we're going to start to just warm up the body. So we're going to start with some neck circles. So pretend you have a little marker on the tip of your nose. And we're going to start making small circles one way. And gradually grow your circles. Start to expand your circle outward, but not too terribly big. So maybe the size of like a dinner plate. What I'm trying to prevent is you don't want to sit there and just throw your head about. So just big circles, but still controlled. And once you get to that big dinner plate size and you have gone through the circles quite a few times, just to where you're feeling like your neck is starting to warm up, we're going to reverse our circle. So we're going to start big, and then we're going to gradually make our circle smaller, coming back into that little point. just gonna keep circling around until we reach that center point with our marker. And then you're gonna stack your head over your heart over the hips. Whew. All right, from here, let's go ahead and transition to all fours into a nice tabletop position. So again, if you have cranky knees, you can bring a blanket underneath your knees just to pad them, but you're going to want your palms underneath your, I'm having problems with anatomy today. Your palms underneath your shoulder, basically. You don't want your hands clear out here. And then your knees underneath your hip points, back nice and straight. Keep your neck in line with the spine. And then from here, on your next inhale, we're gonna do one of my favorites, cat-cow. We're gonna inhale, drop the lower ribs, lift the tail, lift the chest, look forward, coming into cow pose. And then exhale, rounding through the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tail, coming into cat pose. Inhaling, dropping those lower ribs once again, lifting the head, looking forward, feeling that nice stretch in your abs. Exhale, rounding through the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tail, feeling that nice big stretch in the back body. Go ahead and do a few more just on your own inhales and exhales. And if there is one posture or one or the other, or maybe even both, that feel good in your body, then maybe stay in that position for a few extra breaths. And just really maybe breathe into it. All right, for this last one, let's sync up together. So after your next exhale, on your inhale, we'll go ahead and come into cat pose once again. And then exhale, or I'm sorry, cow pose. And then exhale, we'll come into cat. And then we're going to return back to our tabletop position. Now from here, let's walk our hands just one palm print in front of where they were. So this time, it's not going to be directly under our shoulder, so it's just a little bit out. From here, we can go ahead and tuck our toes under. Inhale just to prepare. Exhale, lift the knees up off the mat. Start to straighten the legs. Shift your weight up and back. And we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Your heels may not touch the ground, mine do not. So don't try and force yourself into that position if your body doesn't naturally want to do that. If you'd like a little bit of movement here, you can walk your dog, just bending one knee, straightening the other, just moving back and forth. You can do that a few times. And then once you've had enough of that, you can go ahead and bring it into stillness and breathe. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the back of your hamstrings. Do one more big inhale and exhale. And after your last exhale, we're going to look forward, and then we're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. So you can hop or jump up to the top if that's in your practice, or you can take a couple big steps, or if you're like me and you're still kind of warming up, we're going to take little baby steps all the way up to the top. So I am here at the top. I'm going to fix my clothes here real quick. And we are in our first forward fold. Now this posture, you can use your blocks at if you're having any discomfort or maybe you're not able to reach the floor. And if not, that's okay. You can use your blocks as props or just anything that will bring the floor up to you that you have around the house. And you can put your blocks on different levels. So it doesn't have to be high. So maybe you're working towards reaching towards the floor. and that's perfectly okay. Now, if you don't have blocks, you can also just bring your fingertips to the floor, or maybe just have your hands resting on your shins. So on your next inhale, we're going to come up halfway flat back. So we'll all go ahead and put our hands on our shins just to kind of start. You do want a little bit of a bend in your knee. You don't want to lock your knees out, so just a little bit of a bend. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and let it go. You can return your hands to the blocks or to the floor. And if you don't have any of those things and you want to go down further, you can bend your knees pretty generously. You're going to feel that stretch more in your lower back with your knees bent. The straighter your legs are, the more you're going to feel it in the hamstrings. So whatever option you chose, go ahead and just keep breathing. That is non-negotiable. We'll take one more big inhale here all together. And then on the exhale, go ahead and slowly, slowly, slowly start to roll all the way up, and we're going to come into a nice standing position. So we're going to come into mountain pose. In mountain pose, you want to make sure that your feet are really nice and grounded on the mat. So if you have any difficulty with that, you can pick one foot up and then set it down, and then the other, and just really feel that mat underneath your feet. And if you are reconnecting, once you have enough of that, go ahead and bring it to stillness. You can also use this time to fix your clothes if you need to, adjust your pants, whatever else. And then let's go ahead and roll our shoulders up and back. So inhale, we'll raise our shoulders up to our ears. Then go ahead and bring your shoulder blades together and then drop your shoulder blades down your back. So you're standing up nice and straight and tall. So in mountain pose, your head and neck should be in line with your shoulders here, that are in line with your hip points, knees, and then ankles. We're just going to have our hands down by our side and breathe. We're going to flow here in a minute, so just take this moment to kind of prepare and to take this moment of rest. On your next inhale, let's reach our arms all the way up to the top. Your palms do not have to touch, so you can imagine you're holding a big beach ball. You don't want to bring your arms so close to your head that you're wearing your shoulders as earrings. So keep your shoulders down, just like we did in that mountain pose. Just feel that nice stretch through both sides of your body. Breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to shift our hips back, bend the knees slightly, and we're going to lower back down into that forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, let it go and breathe. Now from here, we're going to step our right foot all the way back, and then go ahead and come down to your knee. Now you can untuck the toes if you'd like, or you can leave it tucked. We're just coming into a nice low lunge. So in this position, you want to make sure that your front foot, in this case it's my left foot, is at a nice 90-degree angle, and you should be able to see your big toe. Keep your chest nice and lifted. You can look forward. Again, oops. If I don't throw my blocks everywhere, this is another posture that you can use your blocks during. And you can use those on different levels. And just breathe here, feeling that nice stretch in your right quad. Pull your left hip crease back. Now from here, go ahead and place your hands on the mat if they're not already. We're going to tuck our right toes under, lift that right knee up if it's not already. And we're going to step our left foot back to meet our right. And we're coming into our first plank of the day. So you want to make sure your body is in a nice straight line. Really press your weight back through your heels, push up away from the mat. Make sure your hips aren't lifting into like a down dog. Make sure they're also not dropping into like an upward facing dog. So just nice and straight. Now if plank isn't for you, you can come down to a half plank by just bringing your knees to the mat. But make sure if you're coming into half plank that you're not dipping or lifting your hips up too much. You want to still maintain that same flat line. And make sure you're breathing either way. If you feel that shake, that's okay. Welcome that heat. One more breath here. And then exhale. Go ahead and slowly lower all the way down to your belly. You can untuck the toes. Woo. We have a few more planks today. This is a little bit more of a plank heavy class. Sorry. Not really. It's good for you. All right, from here, make sure your hands are in line with your rib cage. And on the inhale, slowly start to peel your nose and forehead up and look forward. So we're coming into a little baby cobra to start. We're going to grow this practice or this posture as we get a little bit more warmed up. But for now, let's just start slow. We don't need to go crazy. Keep breathing. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, lower your forehead down to the mat. Now all together, let's push up to all fours. Go ahead and tuck your toes under. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, let's lift our knees up straight through the legs, and we're back in our downward facing dog. And from here, just breathe. Nice full big inhales, just feeling that energy move through our bodies. All right, from here, make sure your left foot is firmly planted into the mat. We're going to lift our right toes up, but not super high. Keep the toes dialed down towards the mat. And then on your next exhale, shift your weight forward, look forward, bring that knee into your chest, and then we'll step our right foot up in between our hands, lowering down onto the left foot or knee, coming into that low lunge. Again, if you'd like a little more heat, you can leave your knee off the mat, but I kind of want to start here. All right, again, you can use blocks. You can just come to your fingertips, feel that nice stretch on that left quad. Pull that right hip crease back. Breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll make sure our hands are firmly planted onto the mat. Tuck the left toes under, lift that left knee up, and then we're going to step our right foot back to meet the left, coming into our second plank of the day. And again, you can lower down into half plank if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll stay here. Breathing. One more big inhale here. And then exhale. Let's lower all the way back down to the belly into our cobra. Now we can repeat like before, coming into that baby cobra. Or this time, as you inhale and rise up, maybe you press into your hands and come up a little bit further. Now, if you feel any crunchiness in your lower back, lower it down a little bit. You shouldn't be feeling a bunch of discomfort right back through there. Breathe wherever you're at. Listen to your body. If your shoulders are creeping up and you're kind of collapsing down into the posture, make sure to bring your shoulders down. Really press through those hands. And again, if that's too much, lower down. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way down. All right. So we're going to move back into downward facing dog. So you can either come to all fours and then into downward dog like we just did, or I'm going to give you another option. So you can either meet us in down dog or you can follow me. All right, let's go ahead and tuck our toes to prepare. Take a nice big inhale. And then on the exhale, push through the hands and we're going to come up through a plank. Inhale again. And then on the exhale, we'll just shift our hips up and back. Coming into downward facing dog, meeting our friends here. And then just breathe. Take a moment to relax here. We're going to get off our wrists in just a moment. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. All right. We're going to go back to the top of the mat. So again, you can hop, jump, step, float, however you choose to get there. Completely yogi's choice. But I will meet you there back in a forward fold. All right, so once you get to the top, inhale, we'll come up again, flat back. Exhale, let it go. And just breathe. Take any movement that feels natural to you and good in your body. Or maybe just stay still, completely up to you. Let's take one more inhale here. And then on your next exhale, let's slowly roll all the way up into our standing position. Woo, back into mountain pose. And breathe. You can lift your shoulders up, back and down if you need to reset. Sometimes it can help to close the eyes when you're in mountain. Oh, yawn. All right. When you're ready, we're going to step our left foot back, not too far back, so kind of towards a little bit past the middle of the mat. So not quite here, but a little bit more out. And your leg should be on a parallel train track. Make sure that this left foot is pointing towards your left corner. We're going to square our hips here. And then from here, go ahead and bump your hips to the left. And then we're going to go ahead and come down into a triangle pose. So you can see my front leg is straight. So we're going to keep our right leg straight. A little bit of a bend in it is good. And then you can see my legs are making that triangle shape there. So that's where that is coming from. Now again, you can use your block here to bring that floor up to you. Now my left arm is reaching towards the sky and my chest is spiraling up towards the ceiling. So if that's not working for you, you can always bring your hand to your waist and work on that. Otherwise, you can bring it up towards the sky. And again, you can have your blocks on different levels, or you might be able to bring your fingertips down to the mat. And then you can either look down at your right hand or up at your left hand. Yogi's choice once again, depending on where you're at today. Go ahead and breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, let's lower our left arm down towards the mat. We're going to bend through that right knee, pivot on our left foot, maybe step that left foot back, coming back into that kind of low lunge shape. And from here, we're going to step our right foot back to meet our left, and we're back in plank. And breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the mat. On your next inhale, we'll come into your version of cobra, whatever that looks like for you. And breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, let's lower it all the way back down to the floor. All right, I'm gonna meet you guys in downward dog. So either come through all fours or we'll come through plank. So again, yogi's choice. Depending on how you feel today in your body, move the way it feels good to you. So I'm gonna come through plank today. I'm gonna inhale to prepare, my toes are tucked. Exhale, I'm gonna come up through plank. I'm gonna inhale once again, and then exhale, I'm gonna shift back into my downward facing dog. And then I'll just take a moment here to relax and breathe. Just resetting. On your next inhale, look forward, and we're gonna make our way back up to the top of the mat. Once you get to the top of the mat, we're gonna inhale, come up halfway, flat back, and then exhale, let it go, coming back into that forward fold and breathe. If your wrists are getting a little tired at all, you can bring your hands underneath your feet. You can just lift your feet up, and then you can stand on your hands, and if you wiggle your toes, it'll be on your wrist, and it feels pretty good. It's an odd pose, but you can definitely, that's an option for you if your wrists are getting a little tired. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll all come up together back into our mountain pose. Take a second to fix the hair, fix the clothes, get situated. I'm going to change to the opposite side because we have to do the same thing on the other side and I don't want to turn my back to you guys. So I'm going to walk over to the other edge of my mat so I can still see you. I'm going to loop my shoulders, make sure I'm standing up nice and straight and tall, and breathe. All right, from here we're going to go into our pyramid posture on this side. So my left foot is going to stay where it is, and I'm going to try and keep my leg nice and straight. I'm going to step my right foot about a little over halfway back, so not too terribly far. And again, my feet are not on parallel train tracks, they are on parallel train tracks, they're not on the same one, so they're like this. Instead of like this. It does help with balance too. And then I'm going to make sure that my hips are facing towards my long edge of the mat. So more towards you guys. All right, from here I'm going to mount my hips over towards the right, feeling that stretch. And then from here I can lower down into my position. So again, you want to make sure that your chest is spiraling up to look at the ceiling. You don't want to collapse. You can use a block here. You can use the inside of your leg, your mat. You want to keep your left leg straight this time. Little bend is good. And then your arm can be reaching up towards the sky, or it could just be on your waist. And you can either look down at your left hand or up at your right hand if it's extended, and breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower the right arm down. We're going to bend our left knee. We're gonna pivot on our right foot here, maybe stretch it back out a little bit, and then we're gonna step our left foot back to meet our right, coming back into our plank posture. And again, from here, just breathe. I'm gonna actually turn back around. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I like practicing from the side. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Let's just take a breath here to rest. Because that posture is kind of tough. On your next inhale, rise up into your version of cobra. I think I like this way. It's because I'm towards the door and I can see what's coming. I don't like my back towards the door. I don't know if that's like a feng shui thing. If you know anything about feng shui, let me know. I don't know a lot about it. I kind of want to move stuff around based on that to make it a little bit easier, but I need to know more about it. So, if you have any good suggestions for books or tools, let me know in the comments. One more inhale here. And then exhale, let's lower all the way back down. All right, we're gonna meet once again in down dog. So that was kind of our last flow there. It's gonna get a little bit easier from here. So if you're getting tired, don't worry, we're gonna come down to the floor soon. All right, I'm gonna inhale to prepare and then come up to a plank. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, I'm gonna shift back into my downward facing dog. If you came through plank with me, that is our last plank for today. Congratulations. You did awesome. And breathe here. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, look forward at your hands. Step or hop or jump. Just make your way forward. And we're gonna come back into that forward fold once again. Inhale, come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it go. Back into our forward fold and breathe. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, we're gonna rise up once again into our strong mountain posture. And just take a moment here to breathe and reset. All right, and once you've caught your breath a little bit, so it's in these more flowy practices, it's nice to have a little pause. So that's why there's so many mountain poses. But we're gonna keep on cooling down. So if you're not already on the long edge of your mat, go ahead and turn towards the long edge of the mat like I am. And we're gonna bring our feet wide. Now they don't have to be super wide, but they should be, fairly wide to give yourself some room. We're gonna go into that forward fold again, but this time with wide legs. So our legs are gonna be out instead of in. So however wide feels good in your body, it's going to, again, depend on your body and how it feels today and all of that good stuff. This is also where we're gonna fold down. So you could use blocks here to bring the floor up to you if that is part of your practice. We're all gonna start here with our hands on the outside of our thighs. Inhale up, nice and big, and then on the exhale, keep a little bit of a bend in your knee. You don't wanna lock out your legs again, but we're gonna shift our hips back again, just like we did in forward fold, bringing our hands down the side of our legs, all the way down. Now again, you can use blocks here to help bring the floor up to you, and there are again different positions you can use. Or maybe you can bring your fingertips to the mat, or maybe your hand comes all the way to the mat. If your hand is able to come to the mat, then maybe you walk your hands back so they are in line with the arches of your feet, just letting your head and neck drop. Wherever you're at, let your head and neck go. You can shake it loose if you'd like. Breathe. This is a really good posture just to reset. If you're feeling really hot, I like this one to kind of cool down and to release tension. Plus you get a nice stretch on your hamstrings. We'll take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, we're gonna come back up the same way we came. So try and keep a flat back. You bring your hands back to the outside of your legs if you'd like as you rise slowly up. And that does take a lot of core work, so really engage your core as you come up. Whew. All right. From here, you can heel toe your feet back together. We're going to go into another forward fold here, so you can stay here or you can go to the long edge of your mat, whichever feels comfortable to you. I'm going to stay here for just a moment. Well, actually, I'm going to go to my side here. Just because I'm going to have to turn on my side anyway. It's just easier while I'm here. All right, so we're going to make our way down to the mat. But we don't just want to plop down. We want to be really mindful about it. So wherever you're at, we're going to inhale. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and bend through the knees, shift the hips back once again, and we're going to come back into our normal forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go. We're just going to breathe here for a moment, not too long. We've done a lot of forward folding today. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, let it go. All right. From here to transition down, how are we going to get down to our mat? Bend your knees super, super generously. Let your torso rest on your knees. Keep your hands on the mat if they're not already. And then we're going to lift our heels up and kind of crouch down into this little ball. Then from here, you can bring your hands behind you, and then you can scoot on to your booty. All right, we are going to lay on our backs. Yay! All right, so make your way to your back. Ooh. And we're going to stretch our legs out nice and long. We are not coming into our final posture yet. I have a couple more for you just to loosen up the back a little bit and open up the hips. And then we will rest. All right, so go ahead and bring your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a good, nice little hug. And then just take a few breaths here, kind of feel it out. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and take your right arm out to your side. My right arm is on a bolster and a blanket, so it's not ideal. Try and have that on the floor if you can. And then we're going to take our right knee and we're just going to cross that right knee over our midline, coming towards the left. Now I like to rest my my foot on my thigh, on the inside of the opposite side thigh. So my right foot is resting on my left thigh. Also try and keep your right shoulder blade on the mat or in contact with the earth. You don't want that lifting up. So if you need to back out of the twist a little bit, go ahead and do that to make sure that that shoulder blade is on the floor. And then your left arm can be stretching out, or you can just gently place your hand on your thigh. I like to do that for a little bit of a bigger stretch. But again, it's going to depend on your body. This may be good for you today. And then you can look over at your right hand. And then just breathe, feeling that nice twist in your lower back body, wringing out all of the organs. Wringing out any stress, any anxiety. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll return back to center. And then go ahead and send that right leg out. All right, now we have to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring our left knee into our chest. Give it a nice little squeeze and breathe. Make sure you're still breathing. When you're ready, let's take our left hand, bring that out to the side. And then we're going to cross that left leg over our right, so over that midline, and feel that stretch. Now again, you can extend out the right arm. You can leave that right hand on your thigh. You can look out at your left hand and breathe. And again, you're going to feel that stretch here in this lower back area. Oh, my back is really tight. I don't know about you guys, but my back is pretty tight. This feels pretty good. And breathe, just breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, return back to center. Now this time, keep your knees bent, place your feet on the mat. We're gonna walk our feet in together, really together, arch to arch. And then from here, just like you're opening up a book, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together, and then your knees are going to come out to either side. So we're coming into a reclined cobbler's pose here. It's going to be a big opening through your hips. Now, if your knees feel uncomfortable here, if your legs feel uncomfortable here, this is another place where you can use blocks or blankets or a bolster or just whatever you have lying about, and you can bring that under your legs to support. And just, again, bring that floor up to you. So grab those items if you need them. Otherwise, just really breathe into this posture. This posture is pretty, this posture is pretty intense. Your hands can be resting on your belly. You can have them on the inside of your thighs or maybe even the floor, whatever feels good to you. I like to put them on my belly so I can really breathe into my hands, so I remember to breathe. Because even though breathing is natural, sometimes we forget. Just feel that stretch. One more big inhale here. And then as we exhale, we're going to stretch one leg straight out. And then the other. Bring your legs as wide as the mat or even wider. Let your feet spill off your mat. Your hands can stay on your belly, or you can bring your arms out at a 45-degree angle, just taking up space. And we're going to move into our final posture, Shavasana, or corpse pose. If it's cold where you're at, you can use a blanket to cover up with. If you use a bolster just to support your legs, you can grab that and put that underneath your thighs. Grab or get into whatever position feels comfortable to you that you are going to be able to relax and just unwind in and let go. And so you can really just focus on your body and giving yourself thanks for taking this time and just relax rather than just being uncomfortable laying here on the floor. If it feels safe, you can close down the eyes. I'm going to go quiet here for a moment. So if you don't hear me, that's why. but I will guide you out of the posture in just a moment. So just relax and take this time to feel the benefits of the practice just marinating through your body. So the card that I pulled for class today is Seahorse Spirit, and its message is watch and wait. Hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse Spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from Seahorse Spirit is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even if you are tempted to jump into the fray and try and fix things, the best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is that whatever your query, Seahorse Spirit asks you to step back from it, be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why, and you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, stay as long as time allows. If you need to continue on with your day, then slowly start to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, just bringing life back into them. And when you're ready, go ahead and place your feet on the mat, knees bent. And then go ahead and shift over onto your favorite side, whichever side is fine. And just come into a little fetal position using your bottom arm as a pillow and take a few breaths there. Whenever you're ready, slowly start to come into a seat. So just push yourself up into a comfortable seat, bringing your head and neck up last. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes up to the room around you and your surroundings. So thank you so much for joining me for today's free practice. If you like this practice, I have more. They are on my Patreon channel, which is under the same name, Shine On Yoga LLC. If you are watching this on Patreon, thank you. Every week I do a new class, so those are all housed there, and by joining, you get access to my entire library that's out there. So there's quite a few videos that can keep you busy for a while. But those are all there for you to practice whenever you'd like, night or day, whatever time works well for you. The current cost as of today is $15 a month, so it's pretty affordable and it's just convenient if you have a busy lifestyle and you're always on the go. So it's a nice way to just relax and unwind. And there's lots of different practices. So there's active and there's also some lower key ones. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. If you know anyone that you think would benefit from this practice or any of my others, feel free to share them with that person. I do everything through word of mouth. So you sharing it just helps me and it helps others who, again, may benefit from the same practice. You can also share my channel with them if you would like. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that's all I needed to tell you. Oh, if you have any comments, anything that you'd like to work on, leave it in the comments section. I do look at those. If you like this video, hit the like button. Again, it just gets it out into the interwebs and lets everyone know that I'm here. So, yeah. So the rest of my practices will be exclusively on my Patreon channel. So if you are on YouTube and seeing this, then head over there if you'd like more. Otherwise, I will be back in January for our free January practice to really start the new year. I don't know which way I want to go yet, if I want to go like a really active one since it's the new year and that's kind of the thing to do, or if we need to do maybe a slow restorative one after all of the holiday craziness. So if you have a vote, let me know in the comments. But thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season if I don't see you again. Be safe, be well. Thank you again so much for your time and your energy and for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Maybe, if I can find the button.